5 people to raise their hand and you tell me one word that describes how you feel right now, okay? Go ahead, yes. Inspired. You feel inspired. Can we get a round of applause for inspired? Okay, who else wants to raise their hand and one word that describes how you feel? Yes. You feel awesome. Round of applause for feeling awesome after all this things. Yes, okay. You feel relieved. Round of applause for feeling relieved. Yes. You feel proud of yourself. Round of applause for feeling proud in this room this morning. Yes. You feel strong. Round of applause for feeling strong. Yes. Strong power. Right over here. You feel much better. Round of applause for feeling better.
A segment on the Oprah Winfrey Show 12 years ago sparked a tradition at Barnstable High School. A group of students watched the segment on Challenge Day and decided they needed to bring the program to Barnstable. Challenge Day is an anti-bullying program that encourages students to look outside themselves and have compassion for others. Last week, the program once again came to Barnstable High School. According to Challenge Day facilitator Everett Villasenor, Challenge Day incorporates many activities that brings students together.
Adults that volunteer in the day, and usually they're from the community or they work here at the school. And in the morning, a lot of times what we have them do is before the day even starts, we have them stand up in the circle, face all the students, and they start dancing. So anywhere from ages 18 to up in the 90s, we have them show their favorite, give us our favorite hip-hop dance moves, and they just dance in front of the students, and that gives the students permission to be themselves, which is a beautiful thing. And then secondly is we have an activity called Cross the Line. We all stand on one side of the line, call out different categories. If the category applies to you, simply cross. And that's where we see a lot of emotions, and that's where we see people that are able to tap into their hearts, and also they see their best friends that they thought they knew everything about cross for a certain category, and they just start seeing themselves and their school and their teachers in a completely different way, so that compassion really comes into that activity.
Throughout the day, facilitators model for the students by sharing personal obstacles they have overcome and then encourage students to share their own obstacles. Senior Emma Gothier has participated in Challenge Day 5 times. She says the day makes students look outside their own situation and start to have compassion for others.
I think it should be done everywhere. I feel like it just changes the whole dynamic of an entire group of people, because you realize who you're with and who you're talking to, and you really understand the people that you spend so much time with. I think it would impact everybody, from big schools, small schools, wherever you are. I think it's important to do something like this so you realize that, people are like you despite their differences, and that it's okay to be who you are.
Villasenor says after the program, Challenge Day facilitators also work with teachers on how to deal with students that may have shared intense personal struggles.
What we say in the beginning of the day is if any person, student or adult, shares if they're, hurting themselves or another person, someone's hurting them, then we're going to give that person extra support. So if anyone shares any kind of that information, the counselors at the school know that, and they give them extra support, and they follow up with them ASAP.
Barnstable High School teacher and Challenge Day coordinator Martha Swindler says currently an anonymous donor funds the life-changing program.
Thank that person enough, because just that relief of knowing that we can do it year in and year out. When they started the donations 4 years ago now, I think with Patrick's entrance, Mr. Clark's entrance here to the high school, we started focusing on freshmen. So it's now a freshman program. We've tweaked it over the past few years. This year, for the first time, they came with their homeroom, with their TGA, and with their counselor.
Swindler says the change students go through during Challenge Day is clearly visible.
It's amazing. Someone actually just described it as when they came in, they sort of seemed like, shrunken in themselves, and as they left, they were standing tall and sparkles in their eyes, feeling empowered. I think when the youth feel as though their behaviors do make a difference in a positive way, that they start behaving in positive ways with each other, even just simply smiling. In my 20 years here, I think in particular the group that really has, that was originally maybe a target of sexual preference, those kinds of things don't happen here anymore. And when I go to trainings and conferences with other schools and I hear about the sad homophobia that exists in schools, I think about how far we've come. Same with our special needs programs. I mean, we have integrated art and integrated PE. We don't have problems with students mistreating each other in so many ways. I think it's more that everyday stuff that we do with each other, the sarcastic tone in our voice, or the, snide comment that many of us adults don't even realize we're doing, and that really is the hardest change. I'm very proud to say that we now have an Anti-Defamation League peer leadership program that's just started a couple of years ago, and currently it's with a diversity elective, a senior English elective that I also happen to teach. But it's nice having them because they use the same language. They talk about that iceberg of diversity and what do we show the whole world and what's really underneath the water. So much of the language is the same, and that program is really about upperclassmen connecting with freshmen as well. So in the future, in the next couple of months, they're being trained by the ADL, and then they will go into those freshman English classes. So all this language that those freshmen got, they're now going to have 2 or 3 seniors coming in and doing more activities with them using that same language to keep that feeling alive.
This year was the 3rd challenge day for senior Zoe Hall. She says the anti-bullying program has made a difference in her own life.
I just want to change the way people view other people and to understand that people have going things on that they don't share with others, and so that if we show other people that they need to understand everyone else, then people will be able to understand them, and it'll make the community as a whole better.
In some cases, the day touches students in other ways. For senior Emma Gauthier, it made her more appreciative of her family.
I have to think back on how thankful I am for what I have and for how my family is, and how fortunate I am to have the people I have in my life, because I realize that not everybody has those opportunities that are the same. So I'm really thankful for the health that my family has, and for the fact that we're together and that we're happy. And it might not be that we have the biggest house or anything, but it means that we're together and we're safe. And I value that so much after seeing this today.
Senior Zoe Hall says the key now is to keep Challenge Day alive beyond the day-long workshop.
I definitely feel it's effective. I think that we should have it. I know it's very big to coordinate, but I feel that eventually it should be able to have it twice a year, because I think it's nice to have it at the beginning of the year, but towards the end of the year, a lot of the people start to forget the different qualities that they learned and that they need to refresh their memories.
Challenge Day facilitators are working on ways to do just that, while at each school they create a change team and give teachers packets of activities to continue the momentum. Swindler says she incorporates many of the Challenge Day principles in some of her own classes.
It's always a challenge to keep it alive, and ironically, I think that many of the things that happen in our school, people don't even realize it is the change. The field hockey team has a fundraiser for breast cancer, or the football team does a teacher appreciation and asks us all to wear their jerseys, or the Mix It Up Day sponsored by the Social Studies Department. And with our clubs, we have Gay Straight Alliances and Stand Up to Stand Out, and we have so many programs already in place here that really we are the change in so many ways. It's just really getting it into that everyday language. I think it will be really much more effective with the freshmen, and I think a year from now 4/5 of the building will have been exposed to Challenge Day. So many of those conversations that you have, you'll be able to have with kids who've experienced this day to give us that common ground.
And Barnstable is not alone. Facilitator Malvika Matharu says she hears from educators across the country that Challenge Day has a great impact on students.
We have schools send us emails and stories and miracles to our office all the time about how the changes is helping decrease the bullying, decrease the amount of people that are dropping out of school, decreasing just how the atmosphere is, like people helping more, people connecting with one another more, supporting each other more. I had a story personally sent to me, I think it was 2 years ago, that they saw more people eating lunch with somebody new in the cafeteria, or people appreciating the people in their lives more. So we always get miracles and stories at our office all the time.
And from listening to the students who participated in this year's Challenge Day, finding that common ground was achieved.
Everyone feels alone at some point, and if they feel alone and they know that someone else feels alone, they'll be able to help each other.
The effect was really empowering, and just seeing how words can change people for the better or for worse, and it's my goal to make it for the better for people.